So we're all familiar, sadly, with PragerU, PragerPoo. They're not a real university, but they identify as a university. So apparently that gives them some validity, because apparently their identity is valid in that case. PragerU by themselves is cringy, but it's just a YouTube channel. At the end of the day, you're like, okay, that's annoying, but I can just turn my computer off, right? Well, not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. In the hellscape known as good old Florida, controversial PragerU curriculum has been approved for Florida classrooms. Now it says here, it's unclear where it will be used. It's also true that this is not going to be forcing anybody to cover PragerU. This isn't going to force anybody to teach PragerU. Florida was the first state to recognize PragerU as an approved education vendor. 10 more states are in the process of granting the same approval, but those details have not been finalized and can't be discussed. They're doing this under the guise again of like, well, what if parents have their kiddos learning shit that they don't like? I think that it's important that you have a say in what your children are being taught, obviously. Like, I want to say, don't teach my kids PragerU shit, for example. But at what point? That's the real question. And this line is never defined. It's never going to be defined, don't get me wrong. But the problem is the conservatives don't even have a fucking understanding that there is a line. For them, it's like, I don't want my kid to learn that gay people are real. Well, they're my kids, so I should have the ability to just simply say no, that they can't learn that. That makes me uncomfy, you see? PragerU's goals provide teachers and parents with an alternative to a curriculum that does not align with their values. This is what I mean. Align with their values. What value? Where? Some people, teaching kids the world is round doesn't align with their values. Then what? If your values are, I don't want my little 4-year-old learning explicit sexual stuff, then okay, pretty good value, bro. If your value is, I don't want my teenager to learn that gay people are real because God says that gay people are bad based on the way that I misunderstood this one Bible verse and Pastor Tom told me so. There's a difference. And you can't just blanket values your way into teaching your kid anything or denying your kid the knowledge of anything. You don't just get to do that. So, of course, there's lots of people that are upset about this. This approval is giving a voice to parents and educators who have no voice. You have a teacher-parents conference, don't you? You should still be able to voice your concerns. Wait, you have no voice? Are there not teacher-parent conferences going on in schools? Did Florida outlaw that or something? Now these people that already had a voice, like once a week where they could go to the teacher-parent conference and express all of their qualms with the school, well, this is just to give them an even louder voice. We're giving a megaphone to the already annoying Karens, basically. Now some parents are applauding the decision to make PragerU materials available in Florida classrooms, saying they'll bring balance in an environment that often presents subjects from the viewpoint of the political left. No, that's the dumb shit right there. See, that exposes that they don't know what they are talking about. You've heard the quote, and I say it to be snobby and snarky because it's funny. Reality has a left-leaning bias. None of this is teaching things from a viewpoint of political left, at least if we're talking about like very young age. I'm not sure exactly the age here, but it's K through 12 education. Okay. I would be very curious to know, what is the political left? Is it like, again, like, oh, well, trans people are human, like, is that too far? I don't know. It's so cringy, dude. Mother of 4, Heather Quarles of Newberry, said the use of PragerU materials would bring much needed balance to what students are taught. There needs to be opportunity for both sides to be represented. There's not always a both sides. If the argument is gay people are an abomination condemned to hell and we should discourage them and treat them like dog shit until they all go off and kill themselves, and the other side is, well, they're also people who have feelings, and so long as they're not hurting anybody, we might just want to let them live their lives. There's not an opportunity for both sides here anymore. You don't get your side, okay? That your side at that point is about as valid as like, well, nobody asked the unicorn what he thinks about the gays. It's over. You're in Delulu land. So I hate this opportunity for both sides. And again, it's built on this very faulty assumption that all this education is just being given to kids with just nothing but this disgusting, obvious liberal slant. Not just one viewpoint side pushed on our kids, she said. That's the only way that children learn how to critically think. I wonder how many people who say this also allow their children to critically think about religion. What happened to the indoctrinating kids thing? I guess it's only indoctrination when the left does it. See, what it is that PragerU doesn't actually care about the left is quote unquote indoctrinating kids. They just want to be the ones to indoctrinate the kids first.
Come in.
Whoa! What's going on in here?
Yeah, I know. It's a mess. I'm leading my school's food drive, so I have to make posters and organize the collection and contact the food bank and coordinate transportation.
Wow,
This is such poor quality. Like, look, you can tell this is just stuck on. Look, she has a PragerU little sticker on her thing. It says free thinker on her the sticker on her laptop. Are you thinking so freely that now you're actually thinking exactly like your mommy and daddy and their parents as well? Crazy, dude. You're so free thinking.
So I have to make posters and organize the collection and contact the food bank and coordinate transportation.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work for one person. Is anyone helping you?
Well, I haven't asked for any.
What do you mean? You can't do all of this on your own, on top of your homework and volleyball practice.
Well, I want to prove
It sounds like it's the same person voicing both.
that I'm independent and hardworking.
Look, Layla, I know those are good qualities and all,
Look,
but if no one
Layla.
is working with you, who are you actually leading?
I didn't.
Whoa, okay, when did Leo here become Mr. fucking, I don't know, motivational speaker? Is she wearing blush? Maybe, because PragerU likes to make sure that minors are wearing makeup in a way to sexualize them because they're creepy, you know? Groomers and all that.
But I know if I want something done right, I've got to do it myself.
Well, I'm sure all great leaders need help at some point in their lives. No one can do it all on their own.
How can you be so sure?
I can't, but I bet the History app can help us.
Yeah, maybe. Leadership.
All the things of leadership, and you decide to go with Moses? Really?
I have no idea, but I definitely should have worn different shoes.
You can say that again. My feet are gonna
You can say that again. My feet are gonna fall off or kill me.
be Blister City.
Hey, look, someone's over there. Maybe he can help us.
Hey, here's the question, since this is gonna potentially be shown to school kids who are very susceptible, and of course we don't want anybody to be terribly led astray or indoctrinated by this. Here's a fast fact for you. The Egyptians were famous for keeping incredibly good records of the time. There were no records ever discovered of anybody named Moses. There's no records ever discovered of the Egyptians enslaving 600,000 plus people. Archaeologists have scoured the desert, where the Bible purportedly says that the 600,000 Israelites were led across the desert for 40 years and 40 nights or whatever the fuck it was, and they found nothing. No evidence that there had ever been people or civilization there for a long period of time. And it's an archaeological thing, like an archaeological fact, I guess, that people, especially in that era, leave behind a lot of shit. A lot of stuff gets left behind, okay? Last but not least, here's the actual nail in the coffin, okay? When the story of the enslaved Israelites being led out by Moses and the God's chosen people and everything, when that was written, that was at a time, contextually and historically, when actually, I'm not sure if the Israelites in their region, I'm not sure exactly why there was conflict, if it was economic or if it's just like war, something, but it was a fact of the matter that when this story of Moses was being written, the Israelites and the Egyptians were currently in political conflict. So it would have made all the sense in the world to posit a story about the big, bad, scary Egyptians enslaving God's people. So just really quickly wanted to debunk Moses for you there, okay?
Hello there. My name is Layla, and this is my brother, Leo.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Well, hello, children. Why are you up here all alone and not with the rest of the Hebrews in the Promised Land?
Oh, we aren't Hebrews. We're time travelers from the future, visiting because my brother thinks even good leaders need to ask for help.
Interesting. Well,
I like how he just like rolls with it. The kid. It's not lost on me that PragerU is now flashing in front of children a man in a dress. So basically like a drag queen. We're watching Drag Queen Story Hour right now in PragerU. It's disgusting. It's sick. But then the other thing that's really funny is that they're like, no, we're time travelers. And he's just like, oh, okay. Oh, I got you.
Well, let me properly introduce myself. My name is Moses.
Oh yeah, that's true. Layla's wearing pants. She would probably already be getting stoned right now if this were actually realistic. Yeah, this isn't just a staff. This is so he can twerk on it and do some stripper pole dancing on it. Specifically in front of kids.
Wow, I know you. You're the baby who floated down the Nile River.
Yup, that's me.
That's right. I remember learning about you in Sunday school. Why did your mom send you down the river anyway?
Well, God had blessed...
What? Why did God... Wait. Why did your mommy send you down the river? I learned about you in Sunday school. How do you learn about it in Sunday school and not know the reason for why it was in the basket? Jeez, dude. I'm speeding this up. This is boring. And also, it's really offensive to me that now we're getting this drag queen stuff. I see... I think she's still a minor. Looks like she's wearing makeup and really tight-fitting clothes. Here we have a little kid with dyed hair. Blue hair pronouns.
The Hebrews with many babies, and their population had grown a lot. The Pharaoh of Egypt was threatened by this.
What? Why did he feel threatened by babies?
He didn't fear the babies. He was just concerned about being outnumbered. And because of this fear, he ordered all the firstborn Hebrew sons to be killed. He wanted to reduce and control the Hebrew population.
That's just awful.
Wow, it was so awful when they killed all the babies. Hey, wasn't it great when God killed all the babies?
Was awful. My mother knew she had to do something to save my life, so she put me in God's hands and sent me down the river.
Wow, what a risk. Anything could have happened.
You're right, and many things did end up happening.
What do you mean?
Well, God led me to an Egyptian princess who raised me as her own child. I was blessed to have had a very loving childhood. But then when I got older, things changed. I discovered I was a Hebrew and that my people were being mistreated.
That's rough. How did you deal with that?
Unfortunately, I allowed...
That must have been tough, huh? Yeah, thankfully. Even if God comes down to me like right now, even if God goes down on me right here and right now and just proves his existence, I'm just going to continue to just deny God's existence purely to out of rebellion towards this video.
Allowed my rage to consume me when I should have turned to God for help. Rather than waiting for God's plan, I took matters into my own hands. I saw a Hebrew being mistreated by an Egyptian, so I lost my temper and ended up killing him.
You what?
To make matters even worse, I also tried...
Oh, God. That must have been rough. Yeah, but then I ended up killing a guy. Yeah, but it even got worse. Like, just casually talking about it, man. Casually talking about that time I killed somebody.
Tried to cover it up.
Were you caught by the police?
I'm not quite sure. I saw a Hebrew being mistreated by an Egyptian, so I lost my temper and ended up killing him.
You what?
To make matters even worse, I also tried to cover it up.
Were you caught by the police?
I'm not quite sure what the police is, but the Pharaoh came after me and I was fearful. Not being able to face what I had done, I ran away. That decision still haunts me to this day.
Ooh.
At least they had some self-awareness with him not knowing what the police is. It's just so... Hi, we want to know about your leadership. Yeah, well, sit down. So first, I was in a basket, you know? Then I did end up accidentally, little whoopsie-doopsie, slip and slide, getting a little kooky, and accidentally, bashed the skull of this one guy I didn't like too much until it was nothing but mush and brain was all over my face, and I got into my teeth, and it was just goofy little fun shit like that. And then God talked to me about how, actually, it's okay when he kills the babies, just not okay when the Egyptians kill the babies.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
What happened after you ran away?
I started a new life in Midian. Overall, it was pretty ordinary. I got married, had some kids, talked to God.
You talked to God?
I sure did. It was frightening at first because he came to...
Wait, I thought God talks to us all the time. Christians, what the fuck, bro? You talked to God?
to me as fire.
No way. How did you know it was God?
Well, one, he was a talking flame in the bush that didn't burn. And two, he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of...
And I have no commentary. It's just so funny. It's like shaking.
Of Jacob.
That's pretty clear.
What did he want?
All right, where do we get to the plagues? I want to hear him justify when all the babies were killed. Because we're going to fast forward this. I'm not sitting through 12 minutes of this.
Oh, it was just terrible. Then the boils came next. The oozing and the smell was almost more than I could handle.
Ugh! My skin is crawling! The Pharaoh must have let your people go at this point.
Unfortunately,
This kid did not learn about this in Sunday school. What a shitty Sunday school teacher, man. You didn't even know why he was in a basket.
No, sadly, he was a very stubborn man. Apparently, rotting skin wasn't convincing enough. So then God made the weather extreme. Hail destroyed the land of Egypt, and what was left was then devoured by locusts.
Did that do the trick?
Not exactly. His heart still did not soften. It took 3 days of darkness and the death of all the firstborn sons in Egypt, including his own son, for him to finally let God's people go.
How sad.
It was a sad day for the Egyptian people, and a very stressful time for me. I was now responsible for bringing all of the Hebrews to the
So
promised.
he talks even this, like, this is what I mean with the bias here. Like, this isn't even conservative as much as it's just fucking Christian. It's just Christian nonsense. You know, his heart still wouldn't soften. Okay, Moses, this is a real good question. Hey, Moses, you talked to God. Pretty sure God told you. Exodus 10, and the Lord said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the heart of his servants, that I might show these my signs before him. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go. Keep in mind that it's like, this wasn't just like a comment. This was like the whole thing. Right here, Moses then left Pharaoh and prayed to the Lord, but the Lord changed the wind to a very strong west wind, blah, blah, blah. The Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let the Israelites go. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. I've hardened his heart. Yeah, every time God literally steps in and hardens his heart again. Man, you're right, guys. God was blue balling Pharaoh's heart. Poor guy. Got caught up in God's little chess game. But that's the PragerU cringe. It's going to, unfortunately, be an option now for Florida schools, and it seems like they're just the first state, and that other states are moving towards accepting PragerU now as a curriculum option as well. Very concerning kind of shit. At the end of the day, like, God sent 10 plagues. I think this is now the 11th plague. I think the 11th plague is upon us, and I think it is PragerU. It's the longest, slowest burning plague, but yet it's destroying all of us one day at a time. I think God is still just showing his wrath. But then again, we let his people go, I thought. I don't know anymore.